Hello, this is Dr.Darleen Wodzenski with Orchard Human Services, uplifting lives by counseling, educating, and caring. And today I want to talk a little bit about sleep and light exposure. Sleep hygiene, or the way we care for ourselves by engaging in healthy sleep habits, is one of the most fundamental ways we help people be healthy and have solid mental health. And a big part of our sleep cycle, or circadian rhythm, that is the cycle by which we sleep and wake based on movement of the sun, one of the biggest determinants is our exposure to light. In ancient days, this really wasn't such a big deal. The sun was either up or the sun was down. When the sun was up, people were awake, milling about. The sun is warm, there's light to do your work. And then as the sun goes down, people start getting ready for bed. And when the light goes away, when the sun goes behind the horizon, people went to bed and slept. And that creates the healthiest circadian rhythm and sleep cycle for the body. In the morning, when the sun starts to rise, people naturally would wake up. As the sun met their eyes, their brain would register that the sun was there, and the brain would go into a wake up mode, produce a little extra cortisol to get the body going, and then start producing serotonin, creating really good feelings so they can go about their day with a feeling of joy and happiness in their heart. Unfortunately, that's not how things are working right now. Technology has brought so many blessings to humanity, but technology is presenting a huge disturbance to the way people engage in access to light and the way they sleep. People are looking at their televisions, their computer screens, their cell phones, morning, noon, and night, and it's creating great confusion for the brain. What the brain needs is to stop seeing light a few hours before bedtime. It's okay to have low lights, as in dim ones, on the yellowish side or orangey side of the spectrum. We don't look at blue lights at night because imagine, during the day, outside, it's blue in the sky. So when the brain looks up and sees bright light, it thinks daytime. When the brain looks up and sees blue, it thinks daytime. So in the evenings, a few hours before bedtime, we want to cut down on all exposure to any blue light. If you're really going to have to be on a piece of technology, use blue blocker lenses or put some sort of filter over your device so that it blocks the blue light. That'll help calm the brain. Some of these devices or applications are so sophisticated on your screen that it'll start to dim the light as well as block the blue light as the evening progresses so that it helps prepare your body for sleep time. By all means, avoid using bright overhead lights because, again, when the sun is high in the sky, it's time to be awake. So the brain actually notices when bright sources of light are coming from above. We don't want that at night. At night, we want sources of light to be lower to the ground because at night, as we get ready for bed, the light sets as the sun falls behind the horizon. And the other thing is to make sure the lights are more yellowish in tone because during the day, again, when you're awake, sky is blue when you're looking up. But as the sun falls below the horizon, the sky starts to get more yellowy or orangey. And that is a signal to the brain that, hey, it's getting time to slow down and get ready for bed. And then in the morning, this is the time we want sun exposure. Staying up into the middle of the night watching television, accessing social media, or using technology is just going to interrupt your sleep cycle. The healthiest thing to do is to be awake and meeting the sun's rays as they start to come up over the horizon at sunrise. When the light meets our eyes and registers in our brain, again, the brain goes, time to wake up. So here's how this cycle works. The circadian rhythm is really very sophisticated and very elegant. And a big clue here is that the circadian rhythm also involves our immune system. What? Yes, the circadian rhythm has an impact on our immune system. So when individuals, children or adults, are getting involved in excessive social media or technology use of any kind, watching screens, looking at bright flashing lights, especially with blue lights late at night, or being up in the middle of the night so that they're not sleeping when the sun is down, they're actually interfering and impairing with their own immune function. So here's what happens. As the light starts to go down and become dimmer, and less blue and more on the yellower side, the brain says bedtime and it starts to produce melatonin. Some people take melatonin orally as a supplement to help them fall asleep. But the important thing is that we make melatonin deep inside our cells. And there, the melatonin actually serves as a powerful antioxidant, and it helps the immune system stay healthy and strong. So the immune system stays strong at the same time that the brain falls asleep because of the action of melatonin. And while the person is engaged in deep sleep, presumably REM sleep or rapid eye movement sleep, the brain is also setting itself up to do a lot of self-repair and healing and create new neural pathways to support new things that you've learned during the day. So creating that quiet time at night, turning down the lights, letting the brain prepare to fall asleep so that it produces melatonin will actually turn on these powerful pathways that'll help you fall asleep, do deep repairing and healing sleep. And then in the morning, as the sun rises, the brain says, whoa, time to switch over from sleep time and melatonin time to wake up time, production of a little flurry of cortisol to get the body going, and then the release of serotonin to get the body happy and ready to take on the day. It's amazing when you jump in there and normalize a person's exercise, diet, socialization, loving relationships, engaging in some meaningful activity during the day, whether it's artistic or a vocation, a job, a career, a passion, and then help them sleep. All of a sudden, people start to get happier. It's a natural product of normalizing the body's biochemistry and neurophysiology. So thanks for sharing these few minutes with me. This is really important information, especially if you're working with children. Before we start medicating children with these big time drugs, let's take a look at normalizing their lifestyle and their sleep and having healthy technology practices so that the children's brains are able to engage in a healthy circadian rhythm, produce melatonin and serotonin on schedule so that the child can have a normal, happy childhood. Thanks for sharing this time. This is DrDarleen Wodzenski with Orchard Human Services. You can learn more by going to our website, orchardhumanservices.org, or checking out our channel on YouTube or on TikTok. Take care.